Hi guys, it's Cowrie and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little different and we're going with pastels and pinks. If you guys know me by now, you know I'm very much into my darker colours and my darker shades, so this is definitely going to be a fun build for us to do. This is part of my makeover series. I seem to be doing a lot of them lately just because I really want you guys to see how much you can do with what's already there. The Sims itself is free for a lot of us, I believe, if not all of us, so I just figured I would show you guys a little bit of something what you can do is a bit different. Like I said, this is out of my wheelhouse. I don't do pink, but I thought it was cute. We kind of went with some pastel romantic vibes. I love how we were able to kind of blend in lots of pinks and whites and creams and that kind of thing, and just kind of make the house really cute. I did go with kind of like a romantic author-y type build, but of course this is up to your interpretation as well. And yeah, again, I just love how it came out. It's different to what I normally ever do, and this actually is the first time I'm using this particular house on the YouTube. I did it for a stream about a year and a half ago, and yeah, it went down really well. The space is really cool to kind of manipulate, and yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. I won't be narrating all the way through it. There will be some gaps and bits and pieces where I've edited, but overall this did take me around 45 minutes in real time, and yeah, it was fun. It's definitely fun to do. I have minimalized editing just so you know that I don't do any kits, I don't do any CCs, anything extra. This is just base game, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. My first port of call after getting rid of everything in the downstairs level is to kind of paint it in the way I want, and to also just add in some really cool curtains. I kind of wanted to keep it minimal. I don't want anything too fancy. That's coming later. I'm kind of doing like a Regency, like vintage kind of build, that I'm quite excited for. But for this one, I wanted to go with lots of plain neutral colours, pinks, whites, I believe purples and things like that, and like I say, this is base game, so there is a lot of things in there, but for the most part we did yeah, we did our best. So going on in, I did actually do a Y2K build, 2000s kind of era, but unfortunately it just didn't really work out for YouTube. But I really love this rug, so I wanted to include that in this build, and I do actually use one of the free kits that was given, which is a deluxe. Hang on, no, the Desert Luxe pack, for this sofa only. Yeah, I really loved how it turned out. I kind of loved like the fact that it was a bit mix and matchy. I really wanted to create this kind of amazing TV area for the build, just because I kind of like the idea of just settling down with some movies and some snacks, that kind of thing. I mean, you guys know me by now. I definitely love a storyteller of a build, and I hope to include some Sims and things like that in the next couple of builds, because I don't always. I just really love building houses at the moment. That's been my vibe for a long time. So yeah, so I did go in and try and create as much of the space as possible, really kind of manipulate it. Going in, I probably would change the placement of this pink like table you've seen, and yeah, and but overall I think we did really well with the space. It was kind of really cool to just experiment with different things that I don't normally use in a pack, for example like the curtains and the chairs and things like that. But yeah, overall I do love it, and I hope you guys do too. Obviously any feedback is always welcome. I love hearing and seeing your comments, and you guys are just incredible. So I wanted to also include a little few pieces of like clutter, but not over the top. I don't want to go too mad with this build. I wanted it to kind of be like super modernish and clean. I mean, it's very minimal, but it's the opposite of my house. But I really like the idea of just going with very basic decorations and them being really meaningful, because I just kind of want it to look like you could just kind of move in and then make it your own after. But that's how, you know, that's me and my stories. So I do go in with some candles and some pottery and things like that, and then I kind of like wanted a bar, and I was umming and ahhing about a bar at this point. I was kind of like, where would I put it, especially as I just put the big palm tree in the corner, but you know me and you know I procrastinate, so I definitely changed up a few pieces, and yeah, I kind of wanted to include some flowers, and like, I don't know, I just wanted it to be cute, so I hope you guys get the cute vibe from it. So going back in with the bar, I really wanted to include a light colour bar to match the floor, but kind of have enough colour on the front to kind of match the wall, just to kind of blend it in a little bit. I didn't want to go too crazy, but yeah, I definitely knew that I loved the whole pink stool and the bluey, purpley kind of bar vibe. I really liked how that piece come out. I think the two colours work really, really well together. And then I really wanted to include some pieces for the wall and things like that. So we kind of went in with these neon signs, and yeah, I think it worked really, really well. And just by adding like that little nook in the corner, I really feel like it did something to the room. I don't know, I just like the fact that we were able to kind of make two separate little areas in one room. And going on in now to the kitchen, I did go full pastel Barbie kitchen. I don't know why, but I just thought it'd be so cool to experiment with it. I knew I wanted pinks in there because of the blue flooring. I just thought it'd be a really cool way of just putting in more colours, and I really love how it turned out. And of course it would be me build about some tea, so I do put in some tea and some mugs. And yeah, again, I didn't really want to go with the clutter too much because, again, I don't know, I just wanted something a bit minimal. But the next build would definitely be having the clutter and the details. Like I say, this video is about 15 minutes, I want to say 14-15 minutes, but the total build took me around 45. But I didn't want you to waste your whole day watching my videos, so I wanted to cut it down for you guys. But yeah, I love how we ended up making like a little retro-y type Barbie kitchen, and yeah, definitely going with some colours that normally I would be a bit icky at. So yeah, I do go in and just create some lighting and some top cabinets in a minute. Looking back, I probably wouldn't have put them in because it's pretty open as it is and it looks pretty cool. But yeah, like I say, there's always something I would never do again on the build. Hindsight is, a lesson. But yeah, again, I like how it turned out overall, and yeah, it's kind of a really cute little kitchen. There's me trying to celebrate and kind of like be excited about that. I did a room in pure pink, which is very rare for me, to be honest. I love pink. I have mini ghouls that love pink, but I just thought it's not a thing that I would do all of the time. It's very much I wanted to go for like a soft girl kind of approach, like the ones you see on like for the aesthetic coming out on social media, like pinks and pastels and that kind of thing. So I like pink, it has its place, but yeah, I know with the month of love there's going to be a lot more pink builds coming, and to keep it kind of fresh for you, we're going to add in some different colours and palettes and houses and builds and creator sims, and we've got so much planned for February. I'm so excited, but for now we just kind of went with like a really cool princessy kind of vibe. Again, this is just something that I really wanted to try and explore in a previous video, and unfortunately it just wasn't good enough for YouTube, and yeah, I am an art about making it. I even edited it and it just wasn't what I wanted, so I've kind of took some elements from that one and kind of made like a Frankenstein house, which I'm all about. I definitely wanted to go with a story kind of vibe of having like being a bit extra and having a bit of a fireplace in the bedroom. I don't know why, I just thought it'd be really cool. Normally I just reserve them for living rooms, but this time around I just thought, why not do something a little different? And yeah, and I think it kind of adds to the blue, it kind of breaks it up a little bit, especially with having the blue fireplace and the pink chair. And of course I had to have like my candles and everything else on top because if you know me in real life and on the podcast I mentioned with Captain Handsome, I absolutely love candles. They are some of my favourite things ever. And yeah, I like how they turned like the room around a little bit. They made it a little bit more personalised without being too crazy. I do briefly go upstairs and then forget that I haven't done any of the rugs in the build. So I do go in and kind of change it up a bit. I went with kind of a plain rug to kind of blend all the white in the room together, so it just seemed a bit more seamless. And yeah, you'll see me in a second completely scan the bottom of the house because I was worried it didn't look like it blended, so I asked Geek for his opinion. So yeah, so I do go in and as you can see, I go in with the little bathroom. I didn't want to add too much detail to this one because it's not really a big space, but I kind of wanted to add enough that we could definitely say that we did enough with the space available. Like I say, this build is something different for me, and I absolutely loved it. It was very cool to do, and yeah, and I definitely would love to revisit this build again in future. But for now, I was just happy like kind of giving, like leaving the bare bones there and just adding to it. Of course we had to add in our our little robe. As you can see, that was so easy for me to put in. But yeah, I always include a robe for every build that I do with the bathroom to match the rest of the colour scheme. So moving in on upstairs, I wanted to kind of create like a little office chill area, as well as like adding on to like the little bathroom, and I always forget one wall in the room, and it definitely is this bathroom in a minute, and it's only when I look back and I think, oh, I'm so glad I fixed it at the time. But yeah, no, overall this build is very cute and very lovely, and I didn't really want to stray too much with terrain and knocking out rooms and adding rooms. I really liked the build for what it was, so I just adjusted it to our colour palette, which I thought, you know, it worked really well. I was really happy with how it came out, and of course I just had to add a little red carpet, and even though it looks kind of like, I don't know, kind of like deep pink, I'm not sure. To the build, I just wanted to add in like a really beautiful romantic bathtub. I don't know, I just like the idea of just having something completely different from my usual builds, even though I feel saying that all my builds are pink at the moment. But no, overall I wanted to just add in, basically with every room I wanted to add in as much things as many things as possible to kind of just really take the space like to a different kind of level. Like, I didn't want to leave it plain and boring, but at the same time I didn't want it so over cluttered that you couldn't really focus on the actual room. And that is me leaving that little bit of editing in there. I always forget that you know, there's so many parts of editing that you take all the bad stuff out, but this year especially I've really enjoyed leaving all like the funny stuff in, the things I forget. But yeah, I do go in with some very small pieces of clutter, I would say. And of course I have to have a robe in the bathroom, or a snug, as my family call it. And yeah, I really like the fact that we kept it kind of simple. So this build, I knew I definitely wanted a bookcase or a library build in there, and that kind of gave me the idea to kind of turn it into this kind of crafty skill type room, a room that I really wish I'd had in my house. And yeah, I wanted to kind of give it that feel of like maybe an author or someone who works from home. But yeah, I really like the idea of just having something very similar and simple, and I think it kind of works. I think like because it was already a set area, you know, I didn't really think it could be another bedroom, but I wanted to add in like an easel. I just wanted it to be like a creative outlet kind of room, and I really think that that worked. And of course I had to add in a little telescope, because you can do some lovely like planet gazing and moon gazing. And yeah, I think I always feel when I describe these videos that I always think too much about them, and yeah, I really just wanted to include a couple of really cozy chairs just to relax over the book, maybe get some ideas. I absolutely love reading in real life, and I just wanted to include this in our little Sims. And yeah, I tied it in with some really cool chairs, similar to the ones downstairs, but not so much so that it looked too samey. And here I just wanted to put in some extra little pieces on top of the fireplace, kind of just turn it into a little bit more of a really cute home. So of course I made candles. So I went in with the last of the sections now just to kind of beef up the area, things like that, you know, like add those final touches. And overall I love how this came out. It's a very cute little build, and it really didn't take me long at all, to be honest. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. And as always, thank you so much for your support. It's honestly meant so much to me, and you guys know the drill by now. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye guys.